Hey everyone, Mr. Toff here, Kakuchopurei here. The first half of 2021 is over and done with. So, I thought we'd ask each and every one of our gaming editorial and content creating pals in Malaysia and Singapore and other countries about what their favorite games and moments of 2021 are so far. Think of this more as like a sanity check of sorts. Here with me is Meck and Danial of Gamer Matters and the dia.log podcast. So, guys, how you been? How's the year been for the both of you?
Hey Taufik, glad to be here. Thanks for inviting us in.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us in. It's been an interesting 2021 to say the least.
Like how interesting are we talking about? Like pandemic level interesting, where we actually are confined to our homes for quite a while that we can't even get out that much, or like how is it?
Oh, that's a given.
Yeah.
That's a given actually.
So that means more time for games lah. Let's just say that, right?
Yep.
Oh, definitely. But interestingly for me, it's also been a good time to catch up on old games.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like how
It's,
many years old? How many years old?
On let's say last two generation of consoles old, PS3, Xbox 360 levels of old.
Oh, that's awesome. You gotta tell me what do you play that was back on the PS3 and Xbox 360?
Oh, so apparently we've been through like January to June, right? So for February until May, I do not have a new game that is on my radar specifically. So I use this time to just catch up on old games. I boot up Ratchet and Clank. No, not the new one, the PS3 version.
There's like a couple. I mean, there's the Clank in Time, there's Future Tool of Destruction. Which one?
It was Tools of Destruction. Yeah, that's basically. Oh yeah, I'm playing Ratchet and Clank again, but on PS3.
Not as nice
That's-
looking, but it's about the same fun gameplay, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, it does. It finally ages now. I mean, graphically wise, but in terms of gameplay, oh yeah, it feels like that PS2 game I keep on playing as a kid again. That was fun. And similarly, I revisited Dragon's Dogma, though I didn't play on the PS3 because of you know what? Maybe on PS3 it was better because it has that opening soundtrack, but still, that was a fun ride as well.
Oh, dude, the fact that they did not play the Dangan song on the anime and in the Dark Arisen, it's a bit sad. I mean, that was such a kick-ass opening, man.
Yeah. But good thing is on PC, there is a way to mod it back in. But
That's nice.
that's
Daniel,
one way to get a mood.
Yeah,
Yep.
Daniel, did you get to any PS3, PS 360 shenanigans, or did you went like full on?
Yeah,
new
I-
games?
I did as well with alongside Mac. I've been playing the old Gears of War games like
Oh.
3 and Judgment. It's interesting. I mean, yeah, like I think I know it's the black sheep of the Gears series, but at least it's fun.
I'll be honest, the arcade mode was actually the best because you know they had modifiers if you go through certain
Yeah.
areas. That was really fun. So what made you
Yeah.
want to revisit Gears? I mean, was it like just for old time's sake?
Yeah, I mean, like before the last generation, since I was using a PS4, I didn't get to play, all the other Xbox games because my last Xbox I think is 360, so that was like 2 gens before. So now that I have, the Series S, might as well relive some old memories.
Definitely, because Xbox Series is backwards compatible, which is nice. You get to actually play what you missed out on.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's just talk. Let's just go, like, explore. Let's just put the past in the back burner and move on forward to 2021 because there's a heck of a ton of games that came out like for the past 6 months. I mean, from January to even the end of this month, which we are recording right now as we speak. So, from the both of your sides, like, what were your favorite picks of 2021 so far, games-wise?
Okay, let's start with the best game that came out in January, in my opinion, and probably objective opinion because there were not many new games in January. It was Hitman 3. Do you love sandbox games where you get to murder people? Especially murder the people of the high elite class, the 1%, the guys that can laugh at you and while they are in their hoity-toity parties in some secluded area. Oh yeah, Hitman is the best fantasy, murder fantasy for you, because this has been like kind of like the end of this trilogy they are making. So they are shooting out all the best quality of like map design, of the gameplay design. Everything is just tight. This is where, if you need to know how good is Hitman, just jumping into Hitman 3. That's fine. No problem. You can just get Hitman 1 and 2 as DLC for Hitman 3.
Oh, okay. What are your favorite stages in part 3 so far? Like the one standout hit.
Oh, the best hits for the biggest takeaway for Hitman 3 is that they know they've mastered their craft, they've mastered all their techniques already. So now we're gonna mix it up. We gotta throw a different kind of challenge to the players, especially the veterans. There was a level called in Berlin. It started with a kind of atmospheric start. It makes you care about the story that you thought, this is just fluff and you don't mind. You just here to kill people. No. Now you have to care for the story. There was no intro. There's no briefing. You go in there not knowing anything. And then you realize, you are being hunted by the assassins. You were your character, Agent 47, is an assassin for an agency, but through turn of events, he's left them, and now that group is hunting him. But no. That's not the twist. The twist is you're hunting them. All 11 of them in that map that you have no idea what it is. So it's basically like the tables have been turning and then turning again. Also, there is a turntable in there because it's actually a rave party down there in that abandoned factory.
Okay.
So a lot of twists and turns. It is fun, especially if you've been playing a lot of Hitman, especially even the older Hitmans is kind of like a throwback to those days. It's fun. Like you don't know, you have to like actually plan on your feet.
The likes of Meck would know that so far my top game of this year is probably Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village, depending on how you want to name the game.
I just call it RE Village.
Yeah, RE Village. It's like, for me, even though people say it's quite short and it's not as exciting as the last two remakes, I feel like RE Village makes good from the experience that is from RE7, and then just turns it up to 11, makes it basically horror, but in different types of horror. Like, I guess I can give an example, like the second one, the second house, because you have to take down the Tiramisu house, and basically it is just a very nice, concise horror sandbox. I think like they just basically improve everything from 7, to say the least. Like, the gunplay is better, the puzzles now it's very Resident Evil-y, if that's a word, and I think in all aspects is a much better game than 7, which to the point where I don't need to play RE7 anymore, because I can just replay RE8.
Okay, yes, that's a very fair point. It's also one of my favorites too. Yeah, well, any more other games you guys want to bring up before we get to the next question?
Any standouts, huh? Well, for me, there is one game in June. Well, depending on how we go, maybe two. One is like my personal favorite, but I don't think it's like in a good state right now because it's a live game. The other is already a live game, but it's fun. It's just stupid fun, some would say. Okay, the one that I'm raving about is Chivalry 2. It's a medieval first-person action game, multiplayer, 64 player in fact. But instead of just thinking about this is just gonna be another gritty medieval fighting with gore and violence, which is true, but also there is like shenanigans and stupid stuff that you can do. Like I thought coming in, I was supposed to be playing a Game of Thrones simulator. Now, there's also Monty Python in there.
Are you kidding me? That's more
Like literally, you can lose a limb, and then the prompt says, "This just a flesh wound," and you can still swing whatever that's left for you until you die of bloodlust. And there's also like you can customize your characters, right? Okay, some of them have voice lines are very serious voice lines, like "For the red and black." And then you have that one guy who's called Squire Boy that you usually started as default, and he just screams like ah, ah. He's like just a squirmy meek boy trying his best to fight to the death. It's stupid. You can even like grab a chicken and throw them to assert dominance or something. grab a broom and try to kill people, but you can't. It doesn't deal any damage. Just for fun. Just for fun. But if you want the serious stuff, there are like light attacks, heavy attacks, advantages. Apparently, if you like fighting game principles, a lot of them are applied here, but a different way. Like there is the concept of advantages rather than like +1 or +2 on block, right? Similar stuff. The other is Fantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, which is an MMORPG free to play, and this is basically a fresh start for the game. It has a lot of like, if basically the short answer for it is if you like Genshin Impact, the whole open world bit, but you like to customize your husbandos, waifus, or abomination, you can do that. You can do that.
So would you say like Fantasy Star Online 2 would be, New Genesis would be like the de facto MMORPG of the year so far?
For me, yes. I mean, there are a few around MMORPGs, but because of it's free to play, now that it's like fresh, it has a fresh start. All the mechanics are like much more simplified for now. It's just easier to get into. So now's the time to, if you are curious about this other MMORPG that's on Xbox and PC, yeah, check it out.
I think like the other game that I'm currently playing, like currently finishing, is near. Hold on, let me try this. Near 1. Whatever. Near 1.5. Near or the new or
Just
near
say
remake,
replicate,
basically.
man. It's fine.
Yeah. I tried to do the numbers thing, but I can't.
You need to recall the high school pi number again.
Yeah.
3.142 3.1412 ...
I think the correct number is near replicant version 1.22474487139 ...
Oh yeah, it's
But
square
I'm
root
not gonna ask you to say
1.5.
that unless
I think like it's basically they just brought over the new Automata engine, and then use the fundamentals of the first game, the original back in the 360 and 360 era,
Yep.
and just make it fun. And yeah, it is quite fun. It is an experience to relive all of the the weird moments that is near just stopped back then actually.
I think we might need to do a spoiler cast one of these days, especially with the new
No.
content they have.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about the combat? I mean, maybe we just flesh out a bit about the combat. Like, what is it you love about the changes?
The combat, I think it plays. I imagine it's playing. I think like the rough estimate is, what if you have 2B's fighting style, but in the body of 9S. Like basically, because the movement set is just really just 2B's first set when you start up the game, and there is your whole set for the rest of the game.
Okay,
And I guess the darkness thingy, the special attacks are also, they refined it a bit. It's good.
So what are you guys looking forward to in the second half of 2021, like in the next 6 months, from July all the way to December? Anything you want to bring up? Like, what are you looking forward to?
Since I've brought out Hitman 3, there is at least one other game that will tickle the similar parts of your mind. coming in September, I believe. It's Deathloop.
Ooh, that new arcane game, right?
Yep, that arcane game. I'm loving already the 60s, 70-ish aesthetics, the vibes there. But the whole bit of you are working with a time loop and now you have to learn the time loop, how to manipulate it just to kill people. That's fun. Also fun. One of the targets you have to kill can be controlled by another player. Dark Souls Invasion, baby.
I am probably quite interested with. I'm going to make Meck cry for this one. But the latest, the Square Enix Guardian of the Galaxy that's coming.
Oh, okay, that's October. Yeah.
I basically want the Marvel Avengers game, but offline.
Fair enough, fair enough. And probably better story and better.
Yeah, and better story
gameplay.
because I think from the looks of that trailer they showed that very long 30 minutes trailer during the Square Enix conference. They have taken some elements from Deus Ex, like
Okay. Deathloop's here.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah, they took like some elements from Deus Ex, like your actions will have consequences and all, which is quite interesting for a character action game. So I'm interested to see what they're doing with that.
Oh, Daniel, now that I remembered, we should mention this other game. We, both of us, are excited about.
Oh yes. It's a racing game that's going to be set in Mexico. I don't know, it's a small series called Forza Horizon. Never heard of it. Yeah, so a nice indie title by some guys with a playground in his name.
Vamos Horizon. It's okay, even if you're not a car guy, at least be excited for how it looks. So because that is gonna be how the next Fable gonna run. Yeah, making the next Fable. So at least you have that to be excited for. For car guys, oh boy, that's gonna be another new playground for us to just hoon around.
That's a great way to end the show. All right, cool. Thanks a lot for joining me, guys. So maybe you want to share like how do we get to your websites and your social media stuff?
You can find us at gamermatters.com. We also have running a running podcast that comes out every other week, dia.log, the Gamer Matters podcast. Also, you can find me personally at Meckronos, Meckronos, on Twitter.
And besides our website, you can also follow me on Twitter as well at Flaky. That is FL4KY.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.